Greetings, YouTubers. A very, very good afternoon to you from the big guy. It's Big Jim in his London Taxi International 2003 silver model with 287,000 miles and counting on the clock. And it's a Friday, the 24th of January 2020. Got it in one. How about that? Very good afternoon to everybody. Trials and tribulations, as I said, of Big Jim and his London Taxi International. Just a little bit of a round off on a Friday. Gang, it's Friday. For all you people that don't work shift work and you don't have to work the weekends, this is the day that we all look towards, because we've got 2 full clear days ahead of us to do what we want to do. And how lovely is that? Just don't get any better, does it? I've Poppy side, since we've had all the problems with Poppy with the whirring, that's all been completely cleared up now. She's running absolutely fine now. I've gone backwards and forwards down the dual carriageways between depots where I work, and she's actually silent in operation now. It really is lovely to drive how we should be driving. Yeah, just absolutely gorgeous. How long that will last for, I know not. You can never tell. But at the moment, touch full mica, everything Poppy wise is running really, really well. I've had no problems with the charging since I retightened that main lead down to the starter motor. It's been absolutely fine. So I'm fingers crossing myself now, and my toes crossed as well, that we're all firing up. Now, I've had a few people ask me in my last vlog, I set a bit of a conundrum for you. Purchased another vehicle, and I was asking everyone out there, what do you believe that I've bought? I want something that's not too expensive, because it's going to be a second light runaround car. It's got to be economical. Cheap as chips I want. Cheap road tax, or next to nothing road tax. Let's give you a bit of a hint. Cheap on insurance, because remember, I will be moving into that vein of another vehicle with all my no claims discount is obviously on the taxi, because this is the most expensive one. So I'll be sort of basically an old fart driving this vehicle on 0 no claims. But I've already looked into that, and I was quite impressed actually. Even with me, with all my driving qualifications behind me, a fully protected with 0 no claims bonus, because I said the no claims bonus is going to be obviously used up on this. Full price, fully protected for the year. Don't tell the youngsters. £135. Ding! That's a result. Something cheap. Right, now I haven't bought a donkey and cart, so don't worry about that. Are you ready for this? I wish I had some drums in here to roll and you could all listen. I have purchased a Mercedes. Don't get too excited now. It's not an AMG series. I have purchased a Mercedes smart car. Please don't hang up. Don't withdraw your membership to this elusive club. Your subscriptions must remain intact. I think we're up to 97 now. you've got it. I've purchased a smart car. Now, James, you're going to say to me, fat bloke, how are you going to fit fat bloke into a Mercedes smart car? I had that very thought. So one of our drivers has actually got a smart car, one of those little, is it called 2x2 or something, engine in the back, and his is, excuse me, his is the petrol version as well. And he said to me, fat bloke, there's my keys, go and have a drive and see what you think. Now, he is as big as, if not bigger than me, and his words to me were, you will be bloody surprised. So I went, okay, as one fat bloke to another, or an even fatter bloke to a fat bloke, I decided to take him up on his offer and give it a go and just see. Anyway, first thing that concerned me was, look, I'm not that large, but I'm large enough. The first thing that concerned me was the door. Can I get into the bloody thing without any trouble? Well, I opened up the door, crouched down, and I was really shocked. The headroom, because they go right back, loads and loads of headroom. My next concern was, can I fit in with the seat wound right back? Answer, bing! With the seat only halfway back, it was absolutely perfect. Loads and loads of headroom. Bing! Number 3, will I have the headroom in there? There's my headroom on the taxi, and I'm telling you what, you're going to find this hard to believe, there is not much difference to headroom in this cab than there is with the smart car. And I was talking to this fella, the driver, and I said to him, Pete, his name is, I said, Pete, why is there so much room in here? And it's pretty straightforward, really. You've got no seats in the back, have you? All you've got in the back is the 2 front seats, basically, and then it goes into the boot area, and the engine's a rear engine. So space-wise, they're amazing. Now, I've got the same model as him. This one's on a 2007 plate. It's got about 64,000 miles on the clock. Check that out anyway. It's had an engine rebuild as well, because most of them need an engine rebuild about every 50-60,000 miles, and this one has had a Merc engine rebuild. They do the shells, crank, main bearings, do everything. It's a very small little 600cc. Look, this has got nothing to do with London Taxi International, but I know you'll be interested. 600cc, it does about 66-67 miles to the gallon. 66-67 miles to the gallon. MOT, no, road tax for the year, £30. I can't even, there's not even the option to pay for it on instalments. £30. So I snapped up at it. Look, I thought before I got it I needed to have a test drive, obviously, and I thought, no, that's not for me. I'm going to need a can of axle grease and a shoe on to get me in and out of it. But I was mildly surprised it's not the case. Someone else said to me, you don't want to have a crash in one of them, mate, your history. Well, I went into the crash testing on them on YouTube, and they fare very highly in crash testing. Very, very high in survival rate. Survival rate is important. But the one thing they do suffer from is, because they're so small, people are less liable to see you. So you might have to change your technique of driving, that you are more visible, i.e. put your running lights on and your headlights on. Be seen. This one's a silver and blue version. It's in at the moment being MOT'd as we speak. I should get it out by the weekend. It should come out by the weekend, and when it does, I should have it by all set up and on the road. Excuse me for look, you're not boring me. It's just that it's the end of the week and it's been a bloody long week, gang. So I should have it by midweek, and it will need one of my specialised valets because it's been laid up for 6 months, not doing anything, in a garage. Fortunately, a dry garage, but it will need valeting and detailing to bring it back. The only thing that I needed to basically get as well is there's a very small front grille on there, and for whatever reason the front grille was missing, so I've ordered up a new front grille for it as well, which will and then with the detailing, it's going to look quite nice, I reckon. Now, it's just going to be used as a runaround, and this is the main reason. As I said, this old girl does 34 miles to the gallon. Another thing with this old girl is I'm about 8 miles from home to work. In the cold mornings, I'm just about getting into work before the heaters are starting to get nice and warm. So most mornings, these cold mornings we've had, I've been sitting in here with hat, gloves. You know, I look like I'm going to the North Pole. It was driving me crazy. Now, there's nothing wrong with Poppy and her heaters. It's just that the lump, the 2.4 Duratorque Nissan engine from Ford that's on these TX2s is such a big old lump, and it takes a lot of warming up. Hence why you probably see in London quite a lot, although they're phasing these out, a little bit of cardboard pushed down by the grill so they warm up a little bit faster. That's a wrong thing to do, because the temperature can raise right up and you can seize your engine if you're not careful. So don't do that. There's nothing wrong with it. The thermostat on there is tripping in and out of the right temperature, because I've tested that in a pint of hot water. No problems with that. It's just a big engine. On a long run, the old heaters blow lovely. The cab heater in the back there, anyone sitting in the back is as warm as toast. Short run journeys. Plus it coaxes it and it buggers it as well. They're not designed for it. So my plan is to basically mothball Poppy, not mothball, but mothball her for the week, place her in on my car parking space in my little private place for the week, and then just use on the weekday the little squat vehicle running backwards and forwards just to work. Plus I get parking anywhere, because you can squeeze them in anywhere, and if you can't fit it in, you just stand it up on his head. You know, they're so small. So that's my plan, gang. That is my plan. Well, that is my plan. That's what I've done. I will give you a walk around of her standing next to Poppy. Look, don't laugh. It's a means to an end, all right? Cheap motoring, and it doesn't put so much load on Poppy just doing short runs backwards and forwards. These are designed to be on longer journeys, and I'll use Poppy on the weekends and when we're going off to do shows and things like that. So that is my plan. It's not my plan, that's what I've done. It's the perfect way for me. I'm really happy with that. It's a good little motor, and it should do me quite well. And as long as it's reliable, and I don't mind spending a little bit of money out on it, as long as it's reliable and it returns it in fuel economy and cheap motoring, who cares? And I fit in it as well. So that's what's happening over in my life, gang. Anyway, I'm going to give you the high numbers now. That's the old CB term, that is. I'll give you the high numbers, which meant I'll give you the 73s. 73s used to mean goodbye. That's how it is that. I can remember CB radio back in the 70s, late 70s, early 80s, all on the AM sets. Perhaps you've done the same. If you did, leave some comments behind. And I'll tell you what, we could have a little chat about CB radio if you want, that I was heavily into. So much so that in the end I become an amateur radio. So although I haven't got a setup at the moment, because I haven't got time in my life. All right, gang, big fella, big Jim, 2003 London Taxi International, 287,000 miles on the clock. Wishing you a great weekend, wishing you a safe weekend, and God willing, my God willing, and your God willing, or whatever you believe, we come out the back end of this and we'll do it all again Monday. Okay, gang, lovely speaking to you. Catch you up very soon. Ciao, ciao.